Hello viewers, welcome to Core for Any. And today we need to starting here the API parts. We need to start here. First of all, we need this here the database designs, few day work, and then after we need to creating here the Node.js Express frameworks with here the socket IO. Need to developing here the REST API. First of all, few days we need to creating here the database designs and we need to basic structure creates and API callings and screen integration times. We need to modify some columns and needed the information. So we need to changing, but we need to now creating here the basic structures. First of all, we need to create here the tables. We need to open this here the local host and we need to close this design now. No need this here and also need to close here. Create use this here the database name medical care apps. We need to set here the table names and to create this here the database. Now first tables need to develop here the insert. We need to storing here the user related informations. We need to needs here. We need to creating here the user detail tables because we need to here four types users need to allow inside this app. First one is the users means patients. Second one is the doctors and third one is the medical shops and fourth users are the admin users. Like this four type users need to use these apps and managing this here the data. Now need to give this here the user detail tables names and to need this here the 17 column. Now temporary need to set here the 17 columns. First of all, first columns are the needs here the user details. Need to write down here user details and create here the auto and primary key also set here. Then after need to set here the first name for this user where care. So need to set here the 100. By default blank value need to set. Then after need to set this here the middle name columns. Set here the data types as a where cares. Set here the 100 and also need to give this here the defaults as a blank value. Then after the last value last name we need to set here for these users. Set here the where care. Set here 100 and also defaults is the blank we need to set here. Now also need to log in with here the mobiles and social media. That's why I need to need this here the mobile numbers save inside the years profiles. That's why I need to use this here the mobile code first of all column and we need to set here the where cares and we need to give this here the value inside the needs here the 10 and by default need to set here the blank here. Then after need to configure this here the mobile code done. Now need to save here the user mobile number. Need to set here where cares and to set here the 20 by default blank as set here. Then after need to take here the user email address. We need to set here where cares. We need to set here the 100 and by default need to give this here the blank. If you here change set here the 15 is good, but some names is very big. That's why I need to use this here the hundreds. Mostly use this here the 15s, but now need to temporarily set here the hundreds. If you thinking here the name is small, then to set here the 15 is good and optimize your database size. Then after we need to creating here the needs here the user latitudes, doctor latitudes and medical shop latitudes. Need this here. That's why I need to configure this here the latitudes and longitudes columns for the easy to find here the nearby medical doctors. Like vice versa need to finding this finding here the kilometers and miles. That's why I need to need this here the latitude longitude. Now need to set here the where cares and to set here the 13 value. By default need to 0.0 value need to configure. Now need to set here the longitudes. Set here the where cares. Set here the 13 column for this years and give this here the value 0.0 like here. Then after need to define here the this app which users which device inside the last logins. We need to identify here the current logins sessions which OS in use. That's why I need to give this here the OS type. Need to set here the where care and we need to give this here the value as a set here the pi and we need to give this here value as a and give this here the naming convention. A means Android. We need to set here. I means iOS. Like here's mainly two because we need to developing inside the Flutter. That's why two types is possible. That's why I need to iOS and Android. So need to define here. If you needs here the web, then to give this here the another types need to set here the W for the web. Like here to you are and inside the writing here. And if you using here the applications, you need the sending here the push notification related to message and any any app related message notifications, and to need this here the push notification tokens and to integrate inside the one signals. Now need to set here push token, and we need to set here the varchar and to give is here the 100. Depends on token length, we need to changing this here because we need to use this here one signal token always generating here the 36 characters, but we need to use this here the hundreds. Now need to set here the authentication tokens for the we need to give this here the app security and uh, stopping here the hackings. That's why I need to use this here the authentication tokens with here the every API we need to calls. Secure logins need to need this here the authentication tokens. Need to set here the varchars and to configure this here the 100, and to random tokens need to generating seers. Now need to set here the defaults blank. Then after need to set here the types is verify by default. Need to set here the unverify, need to set here 0 means is equal to new user. Once means verify, like here the configures. Then we need to give this here the user types. Set here varchar 1. By default need to set here the ones. Once means here the users means patient. Seconds means doctor. If type is 2, then 2 means doctor. You need to write down here and easy to understand. Thirds means medical shop. And fourth means admin. Like this user types need to allocate in for this app. And now last one is the status column. Set here 1. By default need to set here the ones. Need to 0 means we need to block these users. Once means active and 2 means deleted. Delete. Now here two columns also needs here the created dates and modified date. Set here the date time, and we need to use this here the current date time. Also same, and to give this here the modification date, modify date, and set here the date time. Now this is the user detail tables. If you need here more columns, need to API integrate, Sams need to add this here. Now need to save, and to these tables are the creating here. Now need to go inside the browse and select this here the tables, and another tables need to creating here. Now next tables need to here the city list need to also need this here the app sets app startings, then to one screens available for the city list. Need to creating here the city list, city tables, city detail. Give this here the table names, maybe wrong place here table names, and to set here the columns as a need to configure this here the 7 columns. Create. First of all, need to give this here the city ID auto generated. Now need to give this here the name as a city name. Set here varchars, and we need to set here 100 blank like here, and also need to give this here the latitudes and longitudes need to set here because need to identify here the radius of the kilometers between here the users patient and any user types. Easy to find out, that's why I need to take here the latitudes longitudes of the center of city, need to put here, and defaults value 0.0 need to assign like here. Then after need to create here the status column, create a date and modify date, date times set here, also set here the date time, and we need to set this here the current time, set here current status once means here the active, 2 means delete, need to set here 1 active, 2 means delete. And now save these tables. And these tables are the creating done city tables. Now another tables need to develop here the category. Home screen inside need to showing this here the heart issue, lungs issue, cancer issue, and diabetes like this. Every categories you need to depends here the patient related. So need to ratings for the needs here the one of the tables for the category detail tables. Now go inside the structures database and we need to create here the another tables. We need to set here the name as a category details, and inside we need to put this here the columns as a we need to set here the 6 columns we need to needs create here. Now we need to set here the cat id, and we need to set here the auto increments. Now we need to give this here the category names, cat names, where care set here the 150, set here blank. Then after need to set here the image for the showing here the icons related to category. Then to give this here the where cares set here 100. By default need to set this here the value as a blank. Then after need to needs here the status column for managing here the active deletes like the status need to use here. So active 2 means delete, like configures are the needs here. Then after need to create a dates, modify date, set here the date time, and current times need to set here current timestamp, and also set here date times. Now we need to save this here the columns tables for the category details, and another tables now need to developing for the user address, doctor address, medical shop address. We need to need this here the address tables, need to setting here, need to need this here the another columns, creating here the another tables. Sorry for this column words, but not columns. We need to create here the tables. Now we need to set here the address detail tables. We need to need this here the 10 columns. We need to create here. First of all, need to give this here the address ID, set here the where cares, auto increments we need to set here. Now we need to set here the again switch users to create this address need to save reference as a user id, need to set here by default as a 0 like here. Then after user write down here the full address here, where cares need to set here the 300, set here blank. Then after need to if here the medical shops and clinic, then to set here for the showing here the outlet of the looks of the hospitals and easy to find out users. That's why need to add here one columns for the image, and here uploading this here the location image need to put here and easy to find out the patients. That's why I need to putting here set here where cares need to set here the 100, by default set here the blank. If you not this is the not required, this is the optional field need to put here. Now need to also give this here the latitudes and longitudes of the showing here the map pins. That's why need to needs here the latitudes and longitudes for these addresses. Set here where care need to set here the 13, also set here, and 13 we need to configure here, and by default need to set here 0, 0.0 like here. Then after need to is default we need to set here types, by default 0. 0 means not default, ones means defaults like this configures here the default address need to considerations. If you set here 1, then after you need to set here the status, created dates and modify date. Set here the date time. Zero. Ones means active. 2 means delete. And now save here. And today last tables need to developing, and then after need to continue as a tomorrow, and this database generating last tables inside need to creating here the doctor degree details, need to save inside the showing here the websites, need to doctor all degrees list need to show. That's why need to need this here the tables doctor degrees details. Now creating here the go select here the database, create here the table name, and to set here the name doctor degree details, and we need this here the columns, 7 columns need to needs, and to creating here need to set here the degree id auto increments, then after need to set here the user id set by defaults as a 0, then after need to give this here the degree name, set here varchars, and to set this here the 100 blank, then after need to image for the verification chart this valid degree. That's why I need to put here uploading this here the image for the degree cross verify need to needs. That's why need to put here. Then after we need to status column, create a date, modify date, and columns date time, current timestamp, defaults as a set here. Now by defaults need to upload dates. That's why into 0 means here the new, once means verify, 2 means reject, and third means deleted. Like here the setting here the tabs, and to save these years. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.